There comes Carol as well. Excellent. Wow. I see some regular faces here. Awesome to have all of you here. And of course, Carol, this is your class that you asked for. So I really hope that this class is going to be what you are looking for, because I'm not doing only cats. I am doing all sorts of all the animals. So everybody who's got any kind of pet, hopefully I've covered their pet, and if I haven't, I've got to have some extra slides to put in for next time. So this is the first of the lessons that we are doing. So welcome, Shirley. Lovely to have you back in class too. How are you today?
I'm good. It's raining. We're getting some good rain. It's been raining all day long. We're going to have green grass after this, let me tell you.
Oh, that is awesome. We're just starting a bit of our rainy season. We have rain in winter. So it's just starting. Oh, hello. Is this going to be for you?
Yeah,
Ah,
this is my lap dog.
that's great. Well, yesterday I was making some of the toys, and I kept. Oh, here comes one of them. They came and they wanted to take part in what I was making. Eventually, I put them outside with some of the toys. I've actually taken photos, and they're in the presentation. They were having as much fun as I was making all these different toys. I have two little French bulldogs, and they are sleeping under my feet. They wherever I am, they are. So they're a little heavy on the lap, but if I sit on my
I have the smartest dog around.
well, I hope I'm going to challenge it today.
I live in a condo,
Uh-huh.
and people have to call me on the phone, on the house phone, when they dial my number downstairs, eh? So it comes to my phone, and then I dial 9, and that lets him in, and then I turn the phone off. And he knows if I answer the phone and I don't talk and say, "Hello, Sue, how are you doing today?" I just hang the phone up. He knows somebody's coming. So then he starts
Oh.
barking until they get up the 3 floors.
Oh, how awesome. But this is exactly it. I mean, our animals are our family. There's no two ways
Oh,
about it.
yeah.
They are really part of your family. They are, I got these two in a divorce. So I got them, not my divorce either. My son and his wife got divorced, and I ended up with the dogs. So that's just how it is. I'm very happy because we wanted to get a pet, but because we haven't got our full visas yet, I was a bit scared. But now we've got these two, and they are they're everywhere I am. They are, and if I'm not home, then they either sit in my office, or the boy dog goes and sits next to Michael. He's very much a man's dog. The little girl dog's very much a lady's dog. And but you'll see them later. So, welcome everyone. I hope you've all got pets. Can you indicate if you've got a pet? Hands up, or um, thumbs up, or yeah, I see 2, I see 3. Yeah, okay, you've got your pets. Thumbs up from Diane. Nice, Diane. Thank you. Shows that you've also. Oh, and definitely Cindy's got a pet, because hers is with her. I can see her pet with her as well in her picture. So that is awesome. Nice to have you, Cindy. Lovely to see you in class too. Where are you from, Cindy?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
You're in Houston. Okay,
Right.
lovely. Lovely to have you with us. Right, let's see. Let's start sharing. And please, as we go along, when we're making, I'm showing you how to make different things. If you've got an idea, share it with us. Something that's worked with your animal, and so we can work with it. So let's do some screen sharing. And I hope that Shirley, that Carol appreciates my first picture. I found this picture, and I know that she has got a cat, and I was hoping she would appreciate. Michelle, do you want to say something, or were you telling me you had your pet?
Yes, just saying I have a pet.
Excellent. Lovely. Right. So this picture I found of this cat, and I thought this just shows you boredom personified. It's just stretching out with a great big yawn. So today we've got Lester with us, and if there's any problems that you have or anything that if your sound goes or you need any information, just type it in and he will help us. So yeah, Cindy, okay. So let's begin. We learn from each other. So if you've got your cameras on, it's ideal. We can see each other. We can talk because this is an interactive class. Even though we're making things, it's a discussion of what we've got and how we work with things. You can request a recording after the class. And those of you who've joined by live streaming, you can't take part. So I really suggest you join us and then you can take part. And if I mention a product, it's purely something I use. We're not paid for anything. Little about me. My name is Sue. I live in Perth, Australia. I've been an educator for 44 years, but what I love about Get Set Up, I don't educate, I share. I can share my ideas, I can share my thoughts, and other people share theirs, and I learn so much from the people in class. I enjoy creating and making things, especially puzzles, and I've got a great love of animals. That's why I do my Australian animals, my African animals, and now my encounters with animals, which is also a new one that started this week. And as I say, I love being a guide. So now the objectives today is to come up with toys for cats, toys for dogs, toys for both. Because sometimes you have a cat and a dog and they both want that toy. That's just okay. You might have to make two, but you can find that often a pet for a dog will work for a cat and vice versa. They might not last as long if a dog gets hold of them. I'm also doing toys for gerbils and hamsters and toys for birds. So hopefully I will have covered most of the common animals that like something to play with. So can anybody tell me what is one thing you'd like to learn today? Anybody? Anybody got an idea? Nobody's got any ideas of what they'd like to learn today. Okay. Well, let's hope you do learn some things for your pets. So we need to help our pets while away their time. Mostly they're sleeping because what do we do when we're bored? We also go and have a cat nap or a sleep because there's nothing to do. So if there's nothing to do, we sleep. So I'm sure you can hear my dog snoring under my feet at the moment. So today we're going to come up with some fun ideas to keep cats and dogs and everybody else happy. So let's see, these are all going to be done later in the lesson. So the first toys we're going to look at are toys for cats made out of mainly simple toilet rolls. If you just take a simple toilet roll and you feather it at the end, you just cut the ends so that they stick out and you feather them. The cat will pay for ours because it pushes it and then it rolls. It doesn't roll normally. It kind of rolls at an angle here because depending on how the feathering goes, it changes direction. So if it's just a toilet roll and they push it, it just goes straight. It's very boring. So by feathering the ends, it now rolls in different directions and makes it much more interesting for them to have. You can also just cut up a simple toilet roll into little pieces and then fit the pieces together and either put a bell inside, a feather inside, or even some food inside. They will spend ages pushing it around. It is your own homemade bell out of toilet rolls. It took me a little bit to get all the edges in, but maybe a couple of minutes, and then I had my ball. So easy, so simple. I use this with my dogs, but it doesn't last very long because they chomp through it very quickly and get whatever I have hidden inside. Sometimes it'll be a dog treat, sometimes it'll be just something that makes a noise. And they really love that. Yesterday afternoon, they were playing in the garden, well, not in the garden, in the garage with me because it was raining too. And say, "Oh, hello, little one." I see Shirley's little dog is sitting up listening very attentively to what we are doing. You can also, a very simple thing, take a toilet roll, and I'm going to stop sharing for a second. You take a toilet roll and you can either put pipe cleaners into it or straws. I find pipe cleaners work better because they're fuzzy and they're fluffy. The cat likes the feel of that. And you put them in across, coming out in different places. You can see they just cross over in different places. Now, as the cat plays with one, so all the others move. Now it's got another one to look at, and then it's got another one to look at. And so they have a lot of fun with such a simple thing as a toilet roll and pipe cleaners. Carol, do you think your cat would like that? Oh, good. I'm glad. Oh, you're very quiet today, Carol.
Oh, no, I think you'd love it.
So, a lovely, simple thing to make. So easy. You might find other animals might enjoy it as well. Anything where it moves and you get this sort of feel to it. Um, but cats particularly love something like this. You can also bend and twist your pipe cleaners, which you can't do with a straw. So I adapted what I had seen into pipe cleaners rather, because you can make them twisty and turny and curly. So they're not all sticking out. You might decide that this one, I don't want it to stick out. I want to just curl it up in a ball. So now the cat's got a ball to play with on this end and a straight piece on that end. And it's up to you as to how you make it interesting. And then the cat, every time it rolls, obviously different pieces come to the top and it can play with them. So I thought that was a really fun idea to make using toilet rolls. Now, there also what you can do is you can get any box. It doesn't matter what box you get. Make some holes in the box. Any box that's arrived delivering something, you just use your cutting knife, cut yourself, and they don't have to be accurate holes. They can be uneven holes. It's not that easy to do an accurate hole anyway. So if you can then put different things inside. You can put a bell inside. You can put some food inside. You can put something that's rough, something that's smooth. And as they put their paw in, so they actually tip it over and they find all the different things inside the box. And that can keep them busy for hours. Anybody got any comments? Oh, the other one, other than straws, is fluffy balls. If you get these little fluffy balls, you get them in all different sizes. You get them with skinklies, and if you stick those on, then the cat wants to chew them off, and it spends ages chewing it off and then spits it out. You can then just stick more onto it. That'll keep you going. Oh, there comes the cat. Oh, Carol's cat is learning with us in class. So we've got cats and dogs in class today, and that's awesome. Now, any questions before we move on from cardboard for cats? No? Okay. Right. Let's continue. Now, scratching posts. The cats like to scratch. They obviously want to keep their nails nice. So there are many different things you can do to make a scratching post. If they just want to scratch their face, you can put scrubbing brushes around one of your tables. And so everywhere they walk, they can scratch their face on the scrubbing brush. For me, I thought that was because Island, my cat that I used to have in South Africa, she loved to be scratched under the chin. Now she can do her own scratching when I can't do it. They scratch on a scrubbing brush. You can also make stacks of cardboard, little piece squares of cardboard. You stack them up on top of each other, you stick them together, and you can twist it or just make it dead straight. So you put the pieces just slightly off center, and now the cat's got a scratching post on the cardboard. They can scratch to their heart's content on that. You can also make a circle of corrugated cards, just make it like a mat, and they can get their claws into that. They love it. You can even use an old picture frame and put some things that they like to put their claws onto. So maybe some rough material, or even some sandpaper, different grains of sandpaper you could put up there. You could put up string that you stuck together there. So those are all there. And so they're all those ideas of scratching posts. And then if you've been doing some bathroom renovations and they've left behind some piping, you can join your pieces of piping together and then wrap string around the piping and attach it to a straight piece. And then the cat can climb up and down and scratch its feet, paws, claws at the same time. So a scratching post doesn't just have to be a scratching post. It can actually be something attractive in your house and fun for the cat. And so there are many different things you can do. Anybody got any comments or other ideas about scratching posts? I see some big eyes looking at me, so maybe there's some interesting eyes there for the cats. Right, now, these toys, some of them the dogs can play with too. I was trying to make the one with bottle tops, and I put it on the ground to go and do something, and I came back and there was Bear with his nose in doing this on the bottle tops. He wasn't sure what it was, but he quite liked the fact that something was swiping the end of his nose. So I think he may come and have another look at it if I put it back on the ground again for him. You can put all different things with all different textures hanging in a box. That will keep them happy for ages. You can also take a cork, and what you do is you soak the cork so it goes a little bit soft. Lovely to see you, Joyce. Nice to have you in class. And right, so what you do is you then put, I used a skewer. I just pushed a skewer in very firmly, and then I attached 2 feathers to it. Now, that you can either lie it on the ground and it rolls along and the cat will chase that, or you can put a hook in this side or another piece and hang it from somewhere on a piece of gut, and then it hangs and the weight holds it down for you. So you've got your different types of ones that you can make, a hanging one and a roly one. You can also, if you played badminton at all, take an old badminton shuttlecock, put a feather in the end of the shuttlecock. Then you actually throw the shuttlecock the wrong way around, and the cat chases after the feather, and now the shuttlecock rolls around and rolls away from them. And that also works very well indeed. I used it on my son's, where he stays, they've got a cat. So I went and tried it out on the cat, and it was very interested in the shuttlecock. It liked all the others, but the shuttlecock was of particular interest to it because it could play with me. I could throw it a little way, and then it would, with the weight of the ball, it rolled a bit further, and the cat thought this was marvelous, and then it would push it, but then this big back thing also moved, and so it found it interesting as well. Any questions on those? Let me just go back to where I was. So using feathers is a great way to get the cat interested in things. Having a feather as part of what you're doing. Cindy's dog is sitting with her. That is so cute. Lovely to see your dog with you, Cindy. I'll pick up one of mine at the end and let you see. I'll maybe pick up both, but Bear's slightly heavier than Lacey. But we'll see at the end. I'll let you see my 2 little dogs, although you'll see them in pictures. The last of the cat toys for the moment, because I decided to do it alphabetically. I'm not doing it because cats are better than dogs or dogs are better than cats. I've gone alphabetically. So C came before D, so cats came first. You can use the bell that you buy for a bird on the end of a string for the cat to play with, because then it's already in a plastic ball and you can do it. You can also take a tennis ball, slice a hole in the tennis ball and put a bell inside. Then the cat will push the ball along and the bell will work. You can also hang something from your doorknob that the cat wants to get up to that moves. Again, a feather's a good one to do with that. And then the cat is forever reaching up, trying to reach the feather. You can also put old tea candle containers. When you finished with your tea candle, you float them in water. The cat, and you could even put maybe one or two little treats in there. Now the cat has to reach in and bring it to the edge so that it can get, you show it that there's something that it wants inside, then float it in the bowl, and now it goes and it fetches, puts its paw in and reaches in and brings it to the edge, and then has to try and get the food out of that. And that's another fun thing to do with it, because those tea candle holders float beautifully on the water. Any questions, any thoughts? You can also do the tea candle one with dogs, but I would float it on a lid rather than a tea candle, or because a tea candle, the paw is a bit heavy, might send it to the bottom of the water. And of course, dogs will put their whole head in to find what treat they are looking for. But it also is a fun way to do it and have some fun with them. Any thoughts? Any questions? Carol, have you got some new ideas yet? You have? Excellent. For those who've just joined, Carol was the person who initiated this class. She asked if we could have a class on toys for pets, and I got permission. And so this is the opening class of Toys for Pets, thanks to Carol's ideas at the bottom, asking for pets. Right. Oh, you are so gorgeous. Now, this one some of these you can definitely use with your dogs as well. If you get the container that had your paper in it, I use the container from Glad Wrap or your baking paper, any of those, that nice long box. You put holes in the box, and now the cat's got to fish for what it wants out of the box. And it climbs over it and goes under it and goes through it, looking for the things that might be treats inside there. You can also take a box and make some holes in it, and then you have a feather. They've got covers over the holes. I didn't have covers over the holes. I just put a feather in from the side, and the cat was watching the holes and would try and grab the feather that went past each hole. So you get it to start looking for those. Or you can even put your finger up through the hole and it goes for your finger, and then you take your finger back out and put your finger up and it grabs your finger again. And so it is a bit of fun for them. You can also put a series of toilet rolls together, and some of them have treats in them and some of them don't. And now they've got to go digging for those treats. I would anchor it in one particular place. Otherwise, I found it got pushed all over. And the same went for the dogs. I had that for my dogs. They pushed it all over the place, trying to, and eventually they just tipped it over. Because they're stronger than the cats, and got all the treats out at the bottom. You can also put treats into little containers that they can see, and then hang some balls over the entrance to the container. So they've got to get the ball out of the way to get the food. So that takes them some time to work out that move the ball, grab the food, move the ball, grab the food. And using an old bottle here, you just make yourself a little frame, or I did it out of toilet rolls and a straw at the top, and then hung a bottle, and then they had to turn it. They had to twist it to get the food to come out of the container. An old plastic container that's no longer usable, make some holes in the lid. Cat can have great fun trying to pour the things out of there. Any questions? Yes, Shirley.
Not a
Carol.
question, but this is funny. I got into microcontrollers at a hackerspace, and I did the same thing with the bottle, but I made it turn at 2 o'clock by using a time.
Oh, wow.
But I think I like yours better. Because I was
Well,
actually feeding her when I was away.
oh, okay. So she had to feed like that. Well, that's a good one to feed her when she's away. She learned what to do to feed it and to get what she wanted. But these are all fun things you can do, either leaving your cat to do it by itself, or you can do it with them. You can have fun with them and play with them as well. So there's a multitude of kitty cat things. Now we've got dogs and cat games that you can play. Now, the first of the feeders we've already spoken about, which was the one where you put the toilet rolls pieces together. But then you can also make a toilet roll box, which is what I did. Further on, you'll see my dogs playing with it. All you do is take a simple toilet roll, and you can make small ones. This is a half a toilet roll because I discovered that they destroyed toilet rolls quite fast and I was running out of toilet rolls. What you do is you flatten your toilet roll in, hang on, let's stop sharing so that you can see and also jump to page. You flatten your toilet roll so that you've got your flattened toilet roll, and then you open it back up and you push from the top into the center, and it pushes very, very easily into the center. Now that closes the end. You can then put in some of the dog treats inside or cat treats inside, close up the other end, and put it on the ground. The first thing they do is they go and smell it. They can smell that there's food in there. Now they've got to work out how to get the food out of there. My boy dog was a typical boy. He sniffed it, looked at it, tried to chew it, didn't work, and sat down and just looked. The little girl, she got into it. She started pawing it and doing a little bit more chewing, and she got one end open and out came a few. But he was watching because as soon as she did that, he went back. And then he started doing what she had done. He was waiting for somebody else to do the work first, and then he followed what she was doing. And this they had a lot of fun with, just a little treat in the daytime. Took them about 20 minutes to get all the bits out of it. So that was really great. Sometimes they destroy it and you've got to rebuild it. Other times it doesn't destroy it and you are able to do what you need to do. So let's have a screen share again. Where are we? We're actually on the wrong page. So let me just go back a page quickly. We jumped a page. You can put them in a triangle and you can have the dog and the cat helping themselves. Another lovely one is to take a roller towel and I put milk bottle tops on either end. Milk bottle tops fit pretty well on them. If it's a tight fit, you can just make a little snip on it and so that it fits in nice and comfortably. I cut irregular holes because I couldn't get my round holes. Mine are irregular holes. And then I just take the top off, put in the whatever I want to put inside. In fact, I made these holes a little too big because the stuff falls out quite easily. I will make another one with much smaller holes, so it makes it harder for them. Once they've learned how to do it, I will decrease the size of holes. And then they pushed it around, and as they pushed it around, one fell out. And whoever got there first ate it, and then they push it around a bit more, and then maybe 2 or 3 fell out, and they'd both go for it and have a go at getting the biscuits out of here. So that was a lovely game for them to play. I did have some slightly bigger treats that fitted in and they took time to fall out because they were a bigger size. And so you can put different size things in so that they fall out at different angles for them. Both cats and dogs love to play with this. So that's, again, just a roller towel and 2 milk bottle tops. That was the completion. Sorry, I just wanted to check one more thing here. The last one is to take your toilet roll and then take paper, newspaper, magazine paper, any kind of paper, and fold it almost sort of higgledy-piggledy, and then stuff it inside the toilet roll and put the food inside those waves. And now it takes quite a bit of time to get them to get that out, because they've really got to stick their paw in a lot of times for a cat, and the dogs inevitably chew it to get to that end. But that also keeps them busy. And they just spit out the pieces of cardboard. They don't like the flavor, and they then have had a good half an hour of entertainment at least. Any questions? Any ideas? More
Hey,
ideas?
Sue.
Well,
Yes.
So, I was going to say, when you were doing the one where you took the toilet roll and you squished the ends, it
Mhm.
reminded me of the when I go to McDonald's and I'll get like an apple pie or something like that.
Oh,
They have
yes.
those.
Oh, you also like those apple pies, do
Yeah.
you? Me too.
So I thought I'll start saving those, and then it has the smell of the food as well as the treats. That ought to keep them busy for a while.
That will
Yeah.
definitely keep them busy. Yes. Yeah. Everybody needs to head off to McDonald's for an apple pie. The
I'm not
easy way
promoting
to
it.
do
I'm just saying.
No, I use those as well. I hadn't thought of that. So I will definitely keep mine as well when we go. We don't go that often, but when we do, it's a lovely treat to have. So that's awesome. Anybody got anything else they'd like to say? That was a very good idea.
Kermit
Alright.
just has the tiniest little milk bones I can find. And I finally found them in Walmart. So I bought about 4 bags of them because I might not find them for a while. But he gets, those are his cookies. And
Those are his cookies.
when he goes
Oh,
out to pee and he comes back in, then he gets a cookie. So that's his reward for going outside and not in the house.
ours
Now,
get a reward for going outside when we want to go out. We say to them,
yeah.
come on out, and they just stand and look at us and say, Offer
Mm-mm.
them, we rattle the treat box, pew, out the door. And they sit like meerkats. They both sit up like this and they sit and wait for their food to get. So yeah, the treats are awesome to have with them.
Mhm.
Ah,
But he's just a
ah.
tiny dog. He's only 6.5 pounds. Sometimes we call him 6 pound Satan. But his piggy, and he plays with the piggy.
Oh,
And
it
I
is
can
so
take his pig. He knows I'm talking about it. I can take his pig and I can put it up on my counter here at nighttime. And in the morning, he'll wake up and he'll sit here and whine until I find, okay, you can have your pig. So I put it down on the floor for him. Loves to, I throw it and I just throw it into the couch, eh? And he'll run after it, you know.
Oh, that is
But
so beautiful.
I had to buy a second one because the first one is it's absolutely chewed to pieces, let me tell you. Then he has his blanket on the floor and he'll take his pig and he takes it over to his blanket and he scratches at it and scratches at it till he hides his pig. And then I can say, where's your pig? And he knows where that pig is. He is smart. He knows every place the pig is. And he'll go and find it in his blanket.
Oh, that is so awesome. They have got the most wonderful characters. They really do. They all have beautiful characters. All right, now we go to a few of the doggy treats. Now, I have a problem in my house. From the time Bear arrived when he was smaller than your hand at my son's house, he was known as the sock demon. if he found a sock, he would take it and hide it. And he
Mhm.
would build up his collection of socks. But that was fine while he was small. Now it's no longer just hide it. You lose your sock. If there's a sock on the floor, that sock is gone. It is chewed in minutes. He's off with the sock and he chews it. So we make sure that the socks are up. It's become a habit now. Take off your socks and put them out of reach. And if I forget, if I take off my socks and I put on my slippers and they're with my shoes, within 5 minutes, I think, oh, my sock, it's gone. One of them has definitely disappeared. He is definitely the sock demon. And it's been all his life. It's Lacey's not interested, but Bear, a sock is like, this is doggy heaven. And if there are no socks, he actually sucks his bed, his blanket, and actually breaks it up. And I end up with this tatty blanket that's been sucked to pieces because there's no socks for him to chew on. So he is quite a character. But we can make awesome things for dogs as well. You can make just with your sock, you can just put a ball in the center of the sock, and now you've got a lovely throw toy, chew toy, pull toy. It can be used for all sorts of things. So collect other people's socks that they're about to throw out with holes in them. Once they've been washed, they are perfect as making toys for your dogs. You can turn them into all sorts of things. Old t-shirts, old pairs of pajamas, anything like that, you can take and you just where's my one that I was making last night? This can be used for cats or dogs. I've put a little soft ball inside it, and then I've plaited it. Now I can swing it, I can throw it, they can play with it, they can have fun with it. And just plaiting and doing different forms of plaiting, you can make amazing toys for them. You can make donuts just by taking some material and just securing it in the center. You don't have to actually sew the inside, just secure the inside, put some either old bags that you've had from your shopping bags. They make wonderful fillers to put inside, and they're nice and soft, and they go inside, and you can fill up your donut that you're making. You can take 2 tennis balls, push some rope through them. Now you've got a double-ended ball to play with. And if you can find some heavy duty twine or heavy duty rope, you can make some really good heavy toys, because remember, dogs have got a much stronger bite than a cat. And so dogs can really eat their way through. My son used to buy, I have a son named Michael from my first marriage, so I've got 2 Michaels in the family. But he used to buy these 2 dogs chew toys, and within 6 hours, those chew toys were gone. I have finally found a bone that lasts them about 2 months. It's a plastic bone, but it doesn't disintegrate within minutes, and they chew on it. Every day they have their bone for a couple of hours, then I take it away. And then the next day it's all excited because the bone is back. And then they play with their bones. But they have incredibly sharp teeth. And so you have to make sure that what you've got is if you've made it, it doesn't matter. You can remake it. But if you're going to buy toys, then you be careful, because it costs a lot and it doesn't last. So look at what your dog likes and what is the strongest thing to make for your dog. So we have our collection of socks that we are putting aside. I've asked everybody in the neighborhood for their old socks, and now I'm making all sorts of toys and things, and my 2 are thoroughly enjoying themselves. Anybody got anything they would like to say? Yes, Shirley, they do have the scent of their owner, but the bear used to take it from the washing machine. If you'd opened the washing machine and you were busy hanging out, and he saw a sock that was hanging from the washing machine, that sock was gone. There was no 2 ways about it. He's got the most amazing radar for socks. He's the sock demon in the house. But yeah, there are dogs are amazing creatures. I've had both dogs and cats. Love both, so they are very special. Anybody got any other toys they've made for their dog? I do have some more.
I tried the tennis balls,
Mm-hmm.
but Kermit would just, I mean, they were just ripped to pieces, to shreds when he was younger. I haven't tried it lately because he's getting more docile and he just likes to sleep on mom's lap. But when he was little, he used to take those balls and they would just be absolutely shredded.
Yeah, yeah.
With,
No, they do. Those teeth can go through a tennis ball in
oh
no
yeah.
time. Right. Now, another game, a fun game for your dogs to play is to take long strips of material, maybe old pajamas that you've cut so that you've got some length to them. Otherwise, you have to keep putting knots in them and stuff them into an old plastic bottle, just leaving a little piece out. Now, and you can actually maybe put something on them to make them interested in it. And now they start pulling that. Now you can either anchor it somewhere so that it stays. Otherwise, as they're pulling, they realize they've got to put a paw on it and pull, and put a paw on it and pull. Otherwise, it just follows them like a lead behind them. And that can also take a nice amount of time. You can also cut up your fabric into shorter pieces, lots of it, and put it into a box, or this one's just on the floor, but you can put it in a box. And then inside, amongst all of that, you put some of their food. So now they've got to snuffle through, or their cat could do it too. They've got to snuffle their way through to find what they're looking for. And with their nose, they'll dig, and with their paws, they'll dig and try and find the food that has now sunk to the bottom of the container. And they spend a lot of time in a snuffle box. They really do enjoy that. Old tire inners, bicycle tire inners, or you can tie that round your stand that you have for your umbrella, that's nice and firm, or somewhere that is nice and strong. It's got to be strong because otherwise you're going to pull that over, and then they start pulling on that, and they love it. In South Africa, I used to attach it to a metal pole, and I had a basset, and she used to pull on this thing I'd just start her off, and then she would pull and pull, and I'd encourage her and say, "Come on, not hard enough," because she used to just about pull my shoulders out. So this was my way of I would stand next to the pole so she'd kind of think it was me, and then she'd pull and she'd pull and she'd pull and have a lot of fun with that because it stretches quite a long way and then comes back. So that's also a good thing, and you can't get your teeth through that too quickly. Um, Taking any kind of fabric, you can take different pieces and then you just weave them together, and you put them together and then tie them together at the end, and they've got a nice pull toy as well. All old clothes that can't go to salvos for somebody else to be able to use, ones with holes in them that really have reached the end of their lifespan, those are perfect for cutting up to make your toys. Right, so now, again, a different type of snuffle box there. You can put your treats inside a tennis ball. Cats and dogs, you can use an old egg box, and you take paper plates and you fold the paper plate up and put the treat inside. And don't put it in every one. Now they've got to work out which one, open it and find out, has it got a treat or hasn't it got a treat in it? So now they've got to really sniff out the treats and find the one they want. And they have a lot of fun playing with an egg box as well. The treat we did for cats, we can do for dogs using bottles and just two pieces of wood on either side with a dowel stick. They've got to get that bottle to turn over enough to get the treat out of the bottle. And once they get the hang of it, they then start hitting that bottle and getting their treats. That takes quite a bit of time.
Oh.
Top right-hand corner are my two little munchkins having a go at the little box that we made at the beginning. And you can see Lacey's already got hers separated, and our bear's still having a niff around his. He's still trying to work out how to get it out. He got it out the polite way. He actually managed to open the end and get it out, and I could use his box again. But you just flatten those in, pop in the treats, and they've got some fun to do. So that is another lovely way for them to do. So those are Bear and they're brother and sister. You would never think so. She's so much smaller than him, but they are the two little creatures that we have. Now, those of you who've got gerbils or little hamsters or mice, lovely ideas. Just using corrugated cardboard, you can create the most amazing homes for them to climb in and out of. And you can put food inside, put some straw inside your toilet roll and add a little bit of food to that. You can make a stack of food for them to eat, and they can choose what they want. A bird works well on this as well, where they can choose what they want to eat off there. And you can also make a tunnel, a whole series where they can come in and go through the maze and maybe get their food in different parts of the maze. So they can have some fun instead of just being in one place all the time. Anybody got any ideas for mice, gerbils, or hamsters? Right. Now, birds. You have your different types of parrots and birds. You can put the food into oranges that you've already used and add different things to it. You can put a bird feeder outside for the wild birds as well. Oh, the second dog's come to join you, Cindy. That's beautiful. And so you've got bird seed in there, and you've got all you can then put your birds outside for birds. You can use toilet rolls and put different things inside each one on a skewer. Then the bird has to find which one it wants and be able to eat it. Gives it something to do rather than sitting all on its own doing nothing. But you can make a variety of toys using rope and wire, and you can even use pegs. So you can build your own things that you want to do for your birds and give them something to do. Anybody got ideas about birds? Right. Well, thank you. Before we stop, let me see. Lacey, wake up. Come here, baby. Come, little one. Come here. Come, Lace. Oh, yeah, treat. Yeah, I'll give you a treat in a minute, but you've got to come so I can give you your treat. Come. Yeah, jump up. That's a good girl. I'll give you your treat in a minute. That is Lacey. Stop sharing for a second. This is little Lacey. She is the smaller one of the two of my French bulldogs. Yes. No. Yeah. All right. And our bear is asking for his turn. So this might be quite a heavy turn. I'm going to take my earphones off because he'll stand on the wire. There you go. Oops. There's there. Hey, what? What do you want? Bobby boy. Now, there we go. Right, those are my two babies. So I have my two little dogs as well. Right. Next time, hopefully people will bring their pets and have their pets so that we can see their pets too, because that just makes it special. So if anybody else has got their pets nearby, it would be lovely way for people to be able to do it. Thank you, Diane. That's a lovely message. Right. Thanks, everyone, for being in class. I hope you've come up with some ideas that you would like to try. There are other boredom busters. There's some for us. There's me time creations. There's upcycling. And there's another dog. Oh, wow, Diane, that's awesome. Oh, beautiful. Lovely to see
This
your
is
dog.
Penny.
That Penny. Okay. Hi, Penny. Oh,
Mhm.
Penny's cute.
She's going to
Oh,
volunteer at Alzheimer's Society
okay.
as soon
Wow.
as soon as COVID's over.
Fantastic. That is so good for people with Alzheimer's, just to have that contact with the animals.
Yeah.
Oh, really, really good. Oh,
And we have a
so
cat
nice.
too. So
You have a
thanks
cat
for
as
all the great ideas. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you can use them.
Yeah.
I'm delighted that if you've got experiences or things when you've made some of these, if you want to send the pictures, you can send them to us at Get Set Up to Liz. Liz will then put them up on the website so that we'll be able to see some of the things that your pets have got up to and some of the things that your pets are doing. So that would be really awesome. You can
Thank
pop
you.
them
Can
up
go lay down.
there. All right, you're going to get some class notes afterwards. You're also going to get sharing of ideas, some other not necessarily related. They're still trying to get that one right. Related classes that you might like to do. And there's also the feedback. It helps us to know whether we're on track. It helps us if you've got new ideas, as Carol discovered. New ideas gave us this class, which is awesome. And so that comment page is really helpful for us. Good, bad, indifferent. It helps us to grow. It helps me to know where I'm going and how I'm doing with it. So that really does make a difference. Then if you want to spread the word, it would be great to other learners and suggest the classes that you like to others. It makes it a community thing. Yesterday I was with somebody and they said, oh, their friend's mum is so bored over in Melbourne, on the other side of Australia. I said, well, tell her to get on to Get Set Up. She hadn't heard about it yet. So hopefully she will be able to do it. And then she passes the message on to others, because there are so many people who are bored. They're stuck at home. And if they can do some wonderful things like they're doing here, they will be able to enjoy their life and have a meaning and a purpose for it. So that is really great. If you want to get a recording, please go to get help at getsetup.io. And if you need any help with booking, Lester will help you with your booking. So thank you, everyone. Anybody that's got anything they'd like to say, please help us with anything you'd like. My dog was too big to put on camera. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a little big to put on. Maybe next time you'll hold a picture up of her or him so that we can see as well. That would be awesome. I would like this class to become a more interactive class, and maybe even do one where we discuss stories about our animals and funny things they do and so on. That might be something for the future. If they're interested, pop that into the feedback as well, so that we can bring things that you want to do. But today has been awesome. Well done, everybody, for showing me your pets and animals. It's been great. Thank you, everyone. Any questions before I close?
So this was great.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. That's
Really
awesome.
great.
It's certainly been an interesting start of classes. Carol's smiling, so that's good. Yeah, you are. It's awesome. Thank you, Joyce, Diane, Michelle, Elaine, and Melinda for being in class. Much appreciated. Look forward to seeing all of you again in another class. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.